Welcome to the Art of Detachment, how sovereign women build from the lowest lows. This is for anyone who feels like they're in the space in between, where something is about to happen but it's not happened yet, and the yes seems so uncertain and the no is also not arrived yet, and this keeps us in a space of maybe. This is the void, and today I want to show you how to move through the void without collapsing or gripping really tight or losing yourself in the process. This masterclass has nothing to do with positive thinking or pretending that you simply don't care about what is it that's happening around you. It's about detachment as a structural power that you have in your identity that becomes the part of who you are in order for you to be able to hold what you really want. So what normally happens in the void is that a mind screams for certainty. All it wants is to be certain, even if the answer to whatever you really desire would be no, and that obviously wouldn't make you happy. Your mind would still rather have that than the uncertainty, because when you sit in an uncertainty, you can't land on anything, you can't move forward with anything. You are sitting in the void waiting for something to happen. Your mind will instantly pull you into negative, because positive is so much harder to imagine. Positive, yes, is so much harder to hold. So your mind instantly will try to send you into frenzy, into stress, into worry because of the no that hasn't even come in yet. It will send you the worst case scenarios as a preparation for your body, because if you're going to hear no anyway, which we don't really know that you will, your mind is preparing you for the fatal blow. It's preparing you for the moment where the news drops and all of a sudden you find out that you're not having what you want. But being in a void is actually something quite special, because when you are able to see it for what it really is, it stops being a punishment. And it becomes a space for clearance, for allowing for creation. All the old structures, identities, safety nets, beliefs that no longer work for you, coping strategies, all of those are being stripped because they cannot support you into your next level. They cannot support you in where you're going. Your identity is essentially stretching, and the more you can allow to come in, the more uncertainty you can hold and detach yourself from the outcome, the more you will be able to stretch your capacity in order to receive more. So if there was a little cup that you're trying to pour a lot of water in, the moment you start pouring the water in, the water will overflow out of the cup because the cup cannot hold it. So as much as you want a lot of abundance, a lot of love, a lot of safety, your body, your container as it is right now, it cannot hold it. So you need to expand the container in order to be able to pour into it more, so the God, universe, Mother Nature can pour more into your container. But as it is too small, and you're given this void, this time, this liminal space of creation, and it's up to you what you're going to do with it. Are you going to allow this to expand you and grow your capacity, or are you going to allow this to collapse you? And that is going to dictate what happens next. You might find that you have been attached to old beliefs, old identities, things that other people said was true, where you never really thought was true. And you find yourself believing in those things, even though they are not yours. This moment of uncertainty, this moment of a gap in between decisions, in between the life that was and the life that will be, is the moment where you get to strip it all back. It's the moment, it's almost like being granted this sacred pause where you get to stop and think and feel into what is real. What is real for you? What is the truth that's alive in you? What wants to come through you? What wants to be born through you? This is the moment where you take that back and work with it, because the natural response would be to wait. Natural response would be to freeze in time and wait for this decision to come through, because once this decision comes through, then I'm going to be happy. then I'm going to be happy. Once this thing comes through, then I'm going to be satisfied. Then I'm going to be safe. Then I'm going to be secure. Our natural instincts in here are not here to grow us. They're here to protect us and to freeze us in time. Because if you press pause and if you try to wait, and if you try to wait and see, and then I'm going to be happy and then I'm going to be safe, you will never see, because you are outsourcing the safety, you are outsourcing your power into the hands of something else, into the hands of other people, into the hands of situations, into the hands of occurrences, where this is the moment for you to take that power back into yourself. And I will show you how to do this with art of detachment and trust that everything always works out in your favor. So when you want something and it's not here yet, what happens is you get attached to the outcome. You imagine exactly what it's going to look like. You dictate to the universe, Mother Nature, God, life, when things will happen. You envisage and have expectations about how it's going to be delivered and when it's going to be delivered and what it's exactly going to look like when it's delivered. And it's the attachment to all those things that you envisaged is what makes it worse. Because in this space we grip, we hold with tight fists. But when your fists are tight like this, you cannot receive anything. It's not until your hands are open, that's when things can come to you, because your hands are open. When you're holding on for dear life, nothing can come to you because you're constantly holding on rather than being open to receiving. So then we attach to the outcome. If this in this one specific way, if this doesn't happen in the way that I envisaged and in the time that I want, I am not okay. So the grip is not actually the desire. It's fear disguised as control. And here nothing can flow into clenched fists. Detachment is often described as just simply not caring. Because when you hear people say, I'm going to be okay either way, you may get an impression that what they mean is actually that they don't care about the outcome. But there's nothing further from the truth. Because true detachment is a non-dependency of identity. But you're essentially saying, I desire this outcome. I really want this to happen. But I choose to move anyway. I choose not to sit and wait for this to land in my lap. I choose to move towards it and do everything I can in order for this outcome to come through, in order for this outcome to become my reality. But if for any reason this outcome doesn't happen in the way that I wanted it to, in the way that I envisaged it to, or the timeline that I wanted it to be, I will still be okay, which makes it a preference without collapse. And that is the mastery of it. In the past, you may have heard the sentence, act as if you already have it. And this is not about lying to yourself. This is not about pretending. This is not about spending money that you don't have in your bank account. This is about regulating your nervous system to match the results that you want. So what you can ask yourself right now is, if the money was already in the account, how would I breathe right now? What would I be thinking right now? How would I be responding to my children who are arguing right now? How would I be responding to strangers on the street? What would I wear? What would I look like? Would I do my hair? Would I do my makeup? How would I feel in my body? And how would I carry myself through the day? Because I can guarantee you, if you had the money in the account now, if you had the love, if you had the peace, you wouldn't be frantically checking your phone. You wouldn't be panicking about the next bill coming out. You'd be calm, present, and available to anything that's coming up that's going to be the most beautiful thing in your day. So essentially, acting as if is like you adopting the psychology of the solution whilst you're still in the problem situation. So you don't calm down once the results arrive. You don't wait for the results to arrive in order for you to feel calm. You feel calm first and then the results arrive. Because once you calm down, that's when the results can arrive. If you expect them, if you need them. If you want them so much to give you safety and joy and peace, then they will never arrive, because that wasn't their job. The job of money in the account is to give you resources. It's not to make you feel safe. Your job is to give yourself safety. Your job is to find love and safety and support outside of that, outside of the money, inside of yourself, inside of your family structure, inside of people you can rely on, inside of you. If anything else was stripped bare, you would be safe with yourself right now. So as much as I don't follow the Bible much, I've been presented this story of Job not long ago, and it was so appropriate to my life because I found that literally 2 days after I heard the story, even though I've heard it before, I realized that in this moment I am Job. I had so many things that were stripped bare in my life right now, and it got to the point where it became too much. I was sat in the waiting. I was sat in the hoping. I was so attached to how things should have worked out that I was literally strangling the possibilities of something else arriving because I was so attached to the outcome. And then all of a sudden, I had to remind myself, like I remind my clients, that this is the opportunity to do something else. This is the opportunity to take myself and grow and pour into my clients and pour into other people and pour into myself and my family. This is the time to support people and guide people and offer more into the world, because me waiting doesn't change the outcome, but me acting in the best way I can, supporting people, assisting others, and leading people forward is the thing that is right now needed more than anything. And the history of Job is that Job lost everything. God took everything. He was God's favorite, and he lost everything. And whether you are Christian or not, it doesn't matter. The story remains the same because it proves the point of detachment and actually holding on the capacity to please stay with this for just a moment. So Job lost everything that he had: money, status, health, and he sat in ashes. And what most people miss in this story is that he didn't get his wealth back when he was begging for it. He didn't get it back when he was analyzing his suffering. He got it back when he served, when he moved differently. When he prayed for his friends, he generated outward energy that wasn't about him. And he did it whilst he was still empty. So he poured into others whilst he was still empty on the inside. And that's when God returned to him and doubled his income and doubled everything he ever had, because he didn't doubt. And his capacity was stretched, because the more you are able to hold, the more you are able to receive. If you were mediocre, you would only be given a tiny challenge and a tiny capacity to hold it. But when you are extraordinary, when you are here to really make a difference in this world, you are given a big container to stretch, because there is so much more that can be poured into you, but your capacity has to stretch. And people say when you upgrade your income, you upgrade your problems. The thing is, challenges will never leave. Challenges are part of human experience here. The challenges will always be here. And the more you up level, the more you'll find yourself with different challenges. The point is not to remove challenges altogether from your life. The point is to learn how to best manage them and how to best manage the situation that you've been placed in. Increase your capacity, learn the art of detachment, and walk in faith and keep creating and keep pouring into other people in order for you to fulfill your purpose. So most people, the moment they come into uncertainty, they wait, and they wait passively, they freeze, they end up doom scrolling. Sovereigns wait actively. You're essentially watching things unfold whilst you do something else. So whether you clean the house, whether you refine your offer, whether you go and work on yourself, whether you go and pour into other people, how you wait determines what you receive. So if you are sat here in the uncertainty right now, it's not because there is something wrong with you. It's not because you are failing at being human or in this human experience. It is because you cannot know. It's because something old can no longer walk with you. It is the time to look at yourself, look at your identity, look at what you believe, look at everything that's around you and strip away. It's almost like wearing clothes that belong to someone else. You need to take the heavy coat off in order to uncover underneath the most spectacular outfit you've ever worn, with the shine, with the sparkle, with the beauty. So you have this opportunity now to detach from what you truly desire, and remind yourself that no matter what happens, you are safe, that no matter what happens, you will be okay, that no matter what the outcome of the situation is, you can still walk and create, you can still go and get what you want, because the moment you sit and wait and hold on to this idea that you have in your head with a clenched fist, you cannot open up and receive anything. And this is not for you to lie to yourself, oh, I'll be fine, I will be fine. This is very much really truly believing that no matter what happens and how situation will unfold, it will be to your highest good and everything will work out perfectly, because you may not be able to see the outcomes just yet of the situations that are coming through fruition. You might not see all the timelines that are available to you, because in our human mind we only can see 3 outcomes where there could be 500 that we haven't really even considered, because we are not able to see the whole picture. So allow things to unfold, and even if things on the surface might look like they are not what you wanted and they threaten the safety of you, it is asking you in that moment to lean into the safety on the inside, to detach from what you thought you need in order to be safe, in order to be loved, in order to be supported, and detach from that and understand that you are always supported and that you are always safe, and you can always look into yourself for anything that you need, that you don't have to outsource it to other people, that you don't have to outsource it to situation and outcomes, that you can actually lean into yourself and know that no matter what the outcome of the situation is, it will always work out in your favor, because it always does. And then you look at this situation a few months down the line and you will see how perfectly it worked out for you, even though in that moment it looked like it was a total and complete collapse. So stay open, keep walking your path, keep walking in trust and in faith that no matter what happens, you will always be looked after. You are the golden one. I love calling my clients the golden ones, because people who resonate with my work are the golden ones. You are the ones that choose yourself. You are the ones that walk this path even though it sometimes is difficult. You put yourself out there even though it's hard. That makes you the golden one. The one that is meant to do more, the one that's meant to look into themselves more and discover how incredible they are, and to find all the ones like you that can support you, that can walk with you, that can hold you, that you can look at and think, if they can, so can I. And that is the most incredible thing amongst all of it. You're not alone. There are other people out there like you who are meant for more. So if you can lead your nervous system and find safety in where you are right now, I can guarantee you that no matter what happens in your life, if you can find safety in uncertainty, if you can find safety and you can detach yourself from the outcome, the things that will happen in your life are going to be so much better, and they'll come so much easier, because you will not be holding on so tight. So everything good that's meant for you and that's coming to you is going to be delivered like express, because you're not putting roadblocks in the way of this incredible thing arriving. You are open and you're moving, and that's the best way to be. So even when it feels like it's the end, and even if it feels like you may lose everything that you ever wanted, let me assure you, it's not the end. It's only just the beginning of the creation of something special and magnificent, if you can only let it come to fruition and be born without getting attached to the outcomes and getting attached to the expectations of how it should be delivered to you. I guarantee you that what's to come is going to surpass anything that you ever hoped for. Thank you so much for joining me here. I am really excited to be able to share this with you. And please, if you have any comments, any thoughts, any experiences that you want to share, please share them. We all love sharing the journey together, and it brings a lot more peace when you can share it with other like-minded people. Thank you so much for being here, and I cannot wait to see you again.